Good evening. Today is the 8th of August and it's time for yet another not particularly interesting, very vague and probably quite boring vlog. So here we are in Somerset for the weekend and a bit of life on the road. It's actually not a car event this weekend for a change, but here we are anyway. And I'm just on my way to do some essential errands. Something that's occurred to me this week, and this is probably actually the first time that I've seen this ever in the news. I actually found this out myself, is that Kia have gone the way of many, many other manufacturers, and they've decided to discontinue virtually all their standard cars. The reason I found out was because, having bought our 2023 Kia Ceed GT line last week, I was in the process of researching the episode of continuity reviews I've just done on it, so I have done the review of the car now, but I couldn't find the standard Ceed anywhere on the Kia website for the UK. I couldn't find the station wagon version. I kind of knew the Pro Ceed, which was like a fastback stroke estate version of the Ceed. It's not the same as the SW, it's a little bit more like it was stylish. But I don't personally think it is, but that's what it's supposed to be anyway. That was discontinued last year, so we're only left with one Ceed version, and guess what it is, viewers? Yes, it's the XCeed, which is the SUV version. Now, this is a bit of a problem because it means that Kia are just following the same pattern as virtually everybody else, and they are just wanting to, I suppose, make more profit because SUVs are more profitable than the basic cars. So, for example, the Stonic, it follows a very similar procedure to what happened with Fiesta and the Ford Puma. So the Puma is based on the same platform that the Mark 8 Fiesta, the last Fiesta, was built on, and that actually is more profitable per unit than the Fiesta was. So the Puma is still on sale, although, I've just found out doing some other research that the most common car in this country is still the Fiesta. It's obviously not necessarily a surprise because they sold so many of them, but we can't buy one anymore. So they decided to sell a Puma instead. Now with Kia, it's the same. The Stonic, which came out just after the last generation Rio, I think 2018 it came out, around the same time as the Mark 8 Fiesta. That's still on sale. I drove one last year. It was fine. There's nothing wrong with the Stonic, but I prefer the standard Rio. There's nothing wrong with the Puma that's currently Britain's best-selling car. I drove one last year. It was a very nice one, but I still prefer the standard Fiesta. And this is the problem. I drove an XCeed in 2023. It was brilliant. It had a very similar engine and gearbox to the car we currently own. It's also a GT9S, I think it was. 6-speed manual with a normal handbrake. But I prefer the standard Ceed. But Kia don't want to sell them anymore. It's sort of madness. Mr. Richardson from the Furious Driving channel has got quite upset about this because although he will eventually review the Ceed that we've got, which is a standard one, he's not very fond of the fact that SUVs is literally taking the place. The only variants that left of the Fiesta are the Pumas. The only variant of the Ceed are the XCeeds. That's it. All other variants have been discontinued in this country, and I think that's a real shame. Fair enough, let people have the choice of having always done the Ceed, the Pro Ceed, the XCeed, the Ceed SW, and the standard one. That's brilliant. But don't just leave them with the XCeed and nothing else. A lot of other market segments have been vacated as well in this country. I think that the segment once occupied by the Ford Mondeo, I think, is now totally empty. I'm not sure there are any cars that are like that actually left. I can't think of a single one. I don't think there are any anymore. The closest thing is the Honda Civic, which used to be in the class below. You know, it's absolutely insane. I just can't believe what's going to happen. And Mr. Richardson is a bit like me. Like, you know, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. Mr. Richardson's like, we don't talk about SUVs on this channel. So he's not very happy about this trend, and he'll think will be in his video when he eventually gets to do the Ceed. He'll be obviously talking about this quite a lot. And, you know, he's excited about it. He did this at older cars, Richard, a bit like me, but when he finds a nice modern car, he's actually quite happy about it. He's quite excited about driving a car with a normal handbrake and a nice turbo engine. It's quite economical, but is also quick and, you know, isn't an SUV, and, you know, he's a nice colour and drives well. You know, he's excited about this. But cars like this are becoming really rare. The Ford Focus has been discontinued this year as well. That's disappearing. The Astra's probably, to be honest, not long for this world. I'd be really happy to see a new Mazda 3, but the current generation has been on sale since 2019. I don't think they're going to replace the Mazda 3. The Saloon, I don't think is long for this world either. I think, obviously, the next Mazda will be electric, like the Mazda 6e is compared with the old Mazda 6, will discontinue in 2023. I think that's what's going to happen. The next Astra will probably be only electric, but with Focus replacement, who knows? So it's one of these things. This whole category of car is disappearing, and for years this was the default choice. The Escort was the best-selling car in this country for many, many years. It was a small family car. The Astra has been a huge, huge seller, but it's not very common anymore in terms of new car sales. Looking at through the top 10 most common cars in Britain, and you want me to do a video on that? Actually, I can do, because I have the information about that. I can tell you what the top 10 most common cars in this country are, just of all years. It's not really a surprise when you think about it, what they are. I don't think there are any surprises in the list, but if you would find that kind of thing interesting, then let me know in the comment section below. But yes, as far as Kia is concerned, I really like their cars. I've said that for many years. I source a lot of Kias and Hyundais, or Hyundais, for clients. I have done for many, many years, ever since I started in 2017. And I have no qualms about doing that whatsoever. I've sourced tons. Obviously, I found with myself this time. But I don't like what's going on. I think Hyundai are doing the same. I wouldn't be surprised if the i30 suddenly disappears now as well, because that's based on the same platform as the Kia Ceed, and it came out actually before the current generation Ceed. So that I don't think is long for this world either, and that will just keep reducing the number of cars in that segment, which is a very handy segment of car. It used to be like the most popular segment of all, the small family car. That's what my Nissan Sunny is as well. That's the segment. So it's just a bit of a shame that this segment is being abandoned. I thought Kia would going to stick it up, because they've been keeping the Picanto on sale for a long, long time, and longer after everything else virtually in that class disappeared, apart from the i10, which is the same car underneath, and the Toyota Aygo X. But there's nothing left in that class now, apart from those three cars. There's actually nothing left in this small family car class now that the Ceed has gone, and now it's just the X Ceed. I think it's a real shame, viewers. A lot of you will probably also feel this. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Pumas are quite a good car, although I don't like the facelifted ones very much. The X Ceed's a very good car. I drove one in 2023. Maybe watch a review of it if you're interested, and a Puma. But I don't like the way this is going. We're not even talking about like whether it's an electric version or whatever, just this class of car, it's just being abandoned. Anyway, thank you ever so much once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. We shall see you again soon for some more very vague and not particularly interesting musing.